is up, guys? Welcome back to Coltown. Today we're going to be going over 5 decks for the new meta that I have either partially theory crafted myself, seen other people playing on Twitter, or pro players sharing it, or have seen them on RoyaleAPI with really good win rates. Most of them are just RoyaleAPI with good run. Alright, so this is a deck that has a really high win rate, and it's utilizing the 2 new cards, so that's why I'm showing it off first. Which are Valkyrie and Wizard. And really, so the thought behind this deck is it's a cycle deck with Loon, so that's really threatening, right? And the other thing is because they both got buffed, they're both pretty strong now, especially Valkyrie in my opinion. And Wizard, not too bad either. One of the decks I'm not showing in this is the Golem, the Baby Dragon Golem deck that has like Pump and Tornado with no big spell. People are replacing Baby Dragon with Wizard, and that's been working out really well too. But yeah, just those combination of cycle cards and Tornado just holding down your defense, even with Tornado being nerfed, are very, very strong. And then Balloon Cycle is always a threat. But Executioner, when you ran this with just like Executioner or Hunter, you just never had quite the defense that you need. But now you have these 2 AoE cards that push shut down any big push, and then also are both very good on their own. So this deck is really nice. May get some gameplay on it in the future for sure. All right, moving on. Next is utilizing the buffed Mega Knight and Inferno Dragon and Zap Bait along with him. So this deck is good, and the Hog variation is good as well with Mega Knight and Inferno Dragon, but Mega Knight plus Inferno Dragon is just such a solid combo. And add in bats for a little bit of Zap Bait, so it's like you're committing into Zap Bait, but then you're also still able to run the control aspect of Miner with Miner Poison, and then the Electro Wiz and the Bandit to also pressure along. Also Bandit having synergy with Mega Knight, both pressuring and able to quickly put down a ton of damage if the dashes get off. The dash and the jump, that is. So this deck also had like in GC's like a 65-70% win rate, I believe, when I last checked. So this is another deck that's really good, and it is pretty dominant on defense, and then it just has such counter push potential. So the other one's more of a cycle deck that has obviously it's overwhelming defense, less counter push, but more cycle, and this one is more counter push potential, like really really good defense. Inferno Dragon takes out tanks and everything, and then just the counter push is amazing with this deck. Alright, next up is a much more control-oriented deck. It doesn't rely on Tornado and everything. It relies on purely defense and more of a chip deck and less of an overwhelming... So they're both minor controls, but this one is more of a slow chip, or maybe you get a lucky, like some Dark Gob shots, some minors. It's more chip. The other one you can overwhelm. So this is more for a defensive player. So this is a Log Bait variation of minor control, with Dark Goblin being utilized, and then the Tesla and the Rascal still being very strong. Overall, yeah, I think Spirit Goblins actually ended up getting like a small buff from this last change, so maybe they'll fix that. But for now, I think cards that use them, but I do like the Dark Goblin because it's more of a minor control card. Spirit Gobs are more for like bait Goblin Barrel or Mortar decks, so I like this a lot. And this is a deck that I saw B-Rad using a lot. He's the minor control guy, so this is obviously his favorite minor control at the time, for the time being, or at least it's one he plays a lot. All right, next up, ooh, this is a deck I'm going to be doing a video on. It's why I'm not going to do any gameplay of this, just because I have it 11. So I'll probably win that and then play some more, or maybe I lost it and you will never see it. No, I'll probably show it either way, but that'll be the next video after this one. So yeah, I've been liking this deck a lot. Brandank, one of my RPL teammates, has gotten #1 early season with this just a couple days ago, or yesterday maybe. And I don't know, it's just really good in this bait meta, because you have the triple spell, and then you can overwhelm every tank deck with your air, and obviously if it's another golem with these as well. And it just works really well against pretty much everything. You have the the triple spells are just so good in this meta. And it just works really good well with Golem. So obviously you don't have the pump, so Elixir Lead's a little bit harder to come by, but just the cards working together in this meta seem to work well. So you just have to be careful early game. Alright, and then finally, we're going to be showing you off this new bait deck that's utilizing Inferno Dragon more. Spirit Goblins, as I said, didn't get that big of a nerf, so they're actually still really strong in both Goblin Gang and Spirit Goblins themselves. And because Spirit Goblins are actually better against cards like Minion Horde now, you don't really need a big spell, so that's part of the reason why this deck works. Just so much bait, of course, both spell bait, I mean both zap and log bait. And then the Spear Goblins and all this swarm actually does a really good job at taking out other swarms now, like Minion Horde and Bats and Skeletons. So yeah, this deck is actually really nice, just taking advantage of the Spear Goblins' new traits, as well as just overwhelming your opponent with the bait present in this deck. So that's it for my top 5 decks. If you guys want to copy them, I'm going to be providing Royale API links. I'm partnered with them. Also, just even before I was partnered with them, I use them every time in every meta. I use them to look up the highest 1% decks and GCs, and these are them plus other pro decks that other people haven't caught on to being effective just yet. But yeah, these are all really strong decks. Yeah, you can check out their stats, and you can copy them from the links I'll put in the description and in the comments most likely. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.